Hello everybody, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Today we are going to go over the Global Labs updates. The first major change this patch is that we finally have the Life Tool UI update. This is going to allow you to register your life skill tools into this new equipment UI, and when you do that, you can then use all of these life tools you've equipped on any character in your account. If we equip them on your main character, we can swap to a different class, say a Wusa or a Striker, and then we can automatically start gathering with those tools. This is only for tools, so if you need accessories and life clothing, for example, all of that still needs to be equipped individually on your characters. That will not transfer over. The tools that can be equipped on this new UI will be the gathering tools, so the lumbering axe, fluid collector, pickaxe, hoe, butcher knife, tanning knife, harpoon, fishing rod, and fishing floats as well. When fishing, you can press Alt to open the bag and select which fishing tool you want to use. When gathering, you can simply start gathering with whatever tool you need by walking up to the tree or grass or whatever it is you want to gather. If your durability of your life tool is exhausted, you will still be able to gather or fish except for floats and harpoons. Those will not work after their durability hits 0. You would need to repair them. Seasoned characters also benefit as they can now use Manos items and any item you equip on this life tool UI after this patch. However, because of this new addition, the effect of acquiring additional basic items when gathering for seasonal characters who were restricted from equipping items before, that will no longer be activated. I think it's a good change overall for convenience, quality of life, if you are a big life skiller. But moving on, we do have some changes to Black Spirit Rage. They have made it so that when you absorb your 100% BSR, you will now get an additional 30% crit rate buff for that duration. That's for your 100% BSR. If you absorb your 200% BSR, you will now have an additional 5 AP, but your attack speed buff has been nerfed. It used to be 40%, it is now going to be 25%, and to compensate, they give you an additional 2000 max HP and a 50% crit rate effect for the duration. I think it's still a nerf to the 200% because the attack speed itself was so valuable. The damage increase for some classes with that much attack speed was very good. And this also applies when you use your 100% and 200% BSR skills, so the same effects would apply. The reason I think they nerfed 200% BSR is because we now have the Tungrad Set Effect with this patch. So Tungrad accessories now have a 3 set effect and a 5 set effect. The 3 set effect will give you an additional 30% max BSR, and a 5 set effect will give you an additional 12 AP. This means if you run Tungrad Belt and Tungrad Earrings, you would get an additional 70% BSR. If you add Tungrad Rings, you would get an additional 90% BSR and 12 more AP. If you want to hit 200% without artifacts, you would need to run Tungrad Necklace, Tungrad Belt, and 2 Tungrad Rings and 1 Tungrad Earring. This will give you 100% additional max BSR and the 12 AP set effect. For that last earring slot, you could probably use a distortion, for example. But with the nerf to 200% BSR, I think the excitement of using 200% isn't there like before. However, having said that, they are still balancing. They even mentioned in this patch they're still balancing and finalizing the BSR changes for all classes, well, 18 classes according to the notes. And this means that we may see more changes to BSR down the road, and likely they'll make changes to cooldown duration of your 200%, maybe buff the 200% absorption a little bit. Who knows, we'll see once they finish with the class balance. Next, we have some more info about the event seals that are coming. The old event seals that you have in your storage will now be converted into this new seal with new exchanges. For the most part, you have seals in storage because you can no longer exchange them, but in the rare case that you still can get items from them, I would suggest looking at this list and seeing if the rewards for the old seals are better than the new seal. That's because the new seal rewards seem to be just okay. Cronstones are listed, which is nice, but you need 300 of this new event seal, and depending on what event items you have left over in your storage, some of them may only give you 5 event seals, others can give you 300, maybe 500, one of them even gives you 6,000 event seals. It's best to check the listings and your storage to see what you have available. Once this goes live, you will be able to exchange them through the new UI they implemented a while back, so it's going to be straightforward. You don't really need to think about it. Next, we have Deeb's Adventure Log, Volume 5, Chapter 3. That's been changed to only need one type of items instead of two. They've also added a note to Volume 3 of Pavino Greco's log to let new players know the order the book can be completed in. The weekly Garmoth World Boss quest has been changed. It is now a region quest, and region quests are a type of quest that you would know if you were doing season. You're grinding in an area, for example, it will usually show next to your map that you have defeated 50 out of 100 monsters as an example, and once you complete that mission, you can obtain rewards automatically, and usually you continue to the next region quest in that area. Well, now they've implemented that idea, that concept, to the Garmoth World Boss reward, so you no longer need to pick up the quest from the NPC. Once you beat Garmoth, you get your reward bundle right away, and the next quest will appear. These are still going to be weeklies, so after reset, you can do it all over again. You get the same amount of rewards per week as before, just with the added benefit of not needing to crowd the NPC right after Garmoth dies every single time. For quest changes, if you do not have the Eliza Lady of Valencia and Star of Diamond Lake as knowledge entries after completing the Treasure of Valencia, Eliza and Memories questline, you can speak to the Black Spirit to get those. The guild permission settings UI has been changed to be more organized, and the descriptions of Guild League, guild support funds, and guild boss summoning have been improved. For Node Wars, the scroll buff I went over in my last video has been changed. Before, if you participated in this new Node War that we have, you would get 2 10-hour scrolls that would give you combat and life buffs. If you won the Node War, you would get stronger versions of those buffs. With today's change, those scrolls have been deleted. Instead, as soon as the Node War ends, those same buffs, depending on if you won or if you participated, those same buffs will be applied automatically to your account. So family-wide, all of your characters are going to have this effect for 2 days. This effect also cannot stack, so you can't do Node Wars every day to stack them and stack the duration. That wouldn't work. You would have to wait till the buff expired first if that's what you're going for. But that is the big change for Node Wars this week. This change essentially makes Node Wars extremely good for PvE players and life skillers, which I think is odd since it is supposed to be a PvP mode, but we'll see what happens. We don't have Node Wars till Sunday, so we haven't seen firsthand the new revamped version, but it does feel like they're really trying to get PvE and life skillers into doing Node Wars with these changes. Let me know what you think in the comments. For Siege, we have some minor changes as well. Annex buildings now have less defense across the board, and some even have less HP as well. During Serendia Node Wars, Glitch as a resurrection point appeared incorrectly in the list, so they've improved that with this patch. And lastly, Arsha server changes. Whenever a player on Arsha server is attacked by another player and dies to a PvE monster, that dead player will no longer receive PvE death penalties, including Crystal Break. And that's all for this update. Let me know what you think about the life skill changes, the PvE or should I say PvP changes in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.